those of you who might actually pay attention to what I do, and there are none of you, but if you are that mythical person who doesn't exist, you might know that I subscribe to and watch and comment on a lot Tabletop Minions, a gaming hobbying channel by Adam Smasher, who's a really great guy, and I suggest you go watch his channel, please. Even if you're not really super into minis, a lot of the stuff he's got, tutorials and advice, work well for just general hobbying. So I would go take a look somewhere up there. I'll try to link you, and if it doesn't work, then boo on me. But anyway, one of his videos was like trying to talk about like secrets that he would use while he was airbrushing to sort of mask off his units or whatever, so he could get paint where he wanted to get paint. And he's just using poster tack. As you can see, I've used almost all of this poster tack, both as like a mask because you can knead it like a kneaded eraser and all the crap will fall off, but also it's just to stick minis to like either corks or pill bottles or whatever, so you can hold them up and you can paint them how you will, and it doesn't, you know, leave marks or stain or whatever, which is really nice. But so I thought I'd go spend the $2 on some poster tack, and got a huge block of it. And I have some chimeras that I got off eBay, and they all looked like crap. And I know you'd think this one looks like it's melted, but it's just covered in poster tack. That's that stupid bird clock. I've got to go ahead and throw that in the garbage. But so I've masked off everything, and I started off with the tank was an olive green, and then I masked a bunch off and did like desert sand khaki, masked off more, did brown, like dirt brown, then masked off even more and did black. Ideally, this would mean that I now have a spank-ass camouflage multi-layered cool paint design, but I've never done this before. This is live on camera. We're gonna see just how bad of an idea it was to cover a tank in poster tack. This might actually take a while. The problem with this is I did have to leave this in the South Texas sun while I was painting it, because you don't want a rattle can inside. That's a mistake. I've done that when I was living up north and pretty much smoked my parents out of their house. I might have the jump cut, but oh, I was going for kind of like a more organic sort of camo look, and as this cleans up, so you've got the tans, the greens, the browns, the blacks, and it's going to take some work to peel all this off. It looks like might be onto something. I'm sure, I mean, when Adam Smasher did his video, he didn't mean cover your entire model with poster tack and spray paint it with matte colored spray paint. That's just silly. But this does make really great and moldable masking. And it's hopefully reusable. It should be. You just knead it and all the crap will come out of it, ideally, in a world that probably doesn't exist. Look at that. That's pretty nice. I mean, like, I wouldn't call it, you know, master paint quality. I don't think anybody's gonna pay me 60 bucks a pop to paint the tanks, and nor would I ever let them. I mean, if you have money and you want to waste it, please. I do take commission paints if you want your stuff painted like crap. But this might be a viable option. The paint I used, if you're in an area where painting with a spray paint can is something you can do. I know when I was living up in New York and New Hampshire, you really couldn't do it a lot of the time, just because it's either shitty out or cold and your rattle can won't spray. Look at that! I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's gonna take me some time to clear this off, but you know, I might just do a little jump cut and clean this up real good and come back and show you exactly how it looks. Because I think this looks kind of spectacular, if I would toot my own horn. So I'll get back to you.
Several hours later.
Well, that took a little longer than expected, but I believe it didn't take as long as it would have to paint this by hand and layer all these colors on. For like how little effort and time I put into this, like I work like 50-60 hours a week. I really don't have time to sit down and paint my vehicles and my infantry models, so this is really like a quick and dirty solution for those of us who want our vehicles to be painted and really don't have days and days to sit down and spend doing so. Now this it's not perfect, and a problem I ran into was anytime that this post tack sat like parallel with the lines, it got all gunked up in there, and like I'm gonna have to clean that up and probably repaint it with a paintbrush to get all this junk out. And it is taking quite a bit of time with like a little bit like this to dig into some of these holes and pull some out. But a lot of the best clean lines seem to be when I went across the body. And I don't know if the color's really shining through in the camera, because it's not the best camera. If you'd like to help me get a new high-definition camera that's not only 720p, please see the Patreon link that doesn't exist. Or maybe it will, I don't know. If anybody starts watching this and taking my advice, then maybe I'll set up a Patreon. But it's definitely not perfect. But, like, the idea of this whole thing is I put on some sticky tack. I took it out my backyard, sprayed it down real quick, went to work, came home, put a layer of sticky tack on, sprayed it down real quick, went to bed, got up, put a layer of sticky tack on it, sprayed it down, went to work, came home, put a layer of sticky tack down, sprayed it down, went to bed, got up, peeled it off. So even in my busy schedule, I painted a tank, and it's not perfect. It's still, I mean, the last gun arrays need to be painted, the multi-layers needs to be painted, heavy bolted needs to be painted, the treads, I'm gonna do up the little Cadian logo thing. I mean, it's not perfect, but for the amount of time that I put into that, that's more than table quality. I mean, once I get the guns painted up, that is, but like, that's fine. And you know, I mean, even though I've got some runs, you know, I just like to think like Bob Ross, and these are happy little mistakes. Just add a little bit of character. I don't like these thick spots here. But those can all be fixed. It's just more time to put into your models and into your hobby. So if you're like me and you have some models that need some love, and I mean, these are, you know, like I'm pretty much sure I said that before, these are eBay rehabs. They were painted like, they were just spray painted brown, and somebody took a brush and went like, camouflaged, and it was really gross looking. But I got it at a really good price, and I mean, it's got the multi-laser, it moves up and down, the turret doesn't turn. Some of the last gun arrays are kind of poopy, but you know, it does the job, and I can give it new life in my army and make it look less like poop. So I'm left with a big ball of sticky tack, which, I mean, it's still good. I mean, this was like $2 for like a huge block of it, and it took me less than the whole thing to do the whole tank. And that's just brilliant. And this is an idea I stole from Adam Smasher from Tabletop Minions, who, well, I'm gonna have to put a link in the description below too, because he's just great, and you should watch all of his videos and support him and stuff. That's just my quick and dirty tank tutorial for painting camouflage. I mean, like, I got the Rust-Oleum, like, it's called camouflage paint, like, literally. It's just matte finished spray paint, and it's basically just primer. And this is just 4 layers of primer. I mean, I accidentally, for some reason, I thought I was just gonna do like a hand paint, like a forest camo hand paint, like I had been with my other things, but then I decided to do this stupid thing, and this is how it came out. So they're all based in the green. The green was the first color, that's why the guns are all green. I really should have done it in like the khaki, green, brown, black. And even though, you know, I put black on last, and I was afraid it'd be too covered, it really didn't cover like everything. I mean, it's kind of muted next to the brown. They're very similar. I don't know how it shows up in the camera, but it is just definitely like, it looks like Eastern Front like German camo from World War II. I kind of like it. But anyway, tell me what you think and give this a try yourself. I mean, like, the hardest part of this was picking the poster tag out of the last gun arrays. Otherwise, it's just peel some poster tag, lay it across, spray paint on it. It's really good. Alright, this has been Lanikin, Bliss Fox Productions. Keep your dice rolling and don't roll like me. Seriously, you want to win a game, right?